It's remaining just hours to Gen Z's nationwide protests, and we are just waiting to see how things will turn out. As we wait for that, let me bring your attention to a High Court judgment delivered yesterday. The appointment of Anthony Mwaura as KRA board chairman has been declared illegal and unconstitutional. While revoking his appointment, High Court Judge Francis Gikonyo noted that the national values and integrity were not adhered to while appointing Mwaura, adding that it was inconsistent with the Constitution. So his appointment was declared illegal because he did not meet the threshold on leadership and integrity. And then the judge went ahead and stated this. Judge Gikonyo said that public trust is a crucial requirement for public offices, and the fact that Mwaura was facing corruption and economic charges, the latter is still pending according to the information provided to court. The country should embark on building culture on national values and integrity and principle, court noted. So Mwaura, his appointment was declared null and void, illegal and unconstitutional. My only worry is, why did the court have to wait for almost 2 years? Because he was appointed in November 2022. Why did the court wait until 2024, July? Almost 2 years. We know that his contract is a 3-year contract, so it's as if he has done 2 years. He's only left with 1 year. I want us to put all this into perspective for Kenyans to understand what that judgment means and what it portends for William Ruto, his appointees, and to the judiciary, and more so, the Supreme Court of Kenya. Before we do that, let me also remind you that yesterday William Ruto was in Nakuru, where he was also heckled. Have a look at this.
Unyenyekevu. Vijana wetu wa Kenya, tafadhali msikubali ati watu wafanye nchi yetu iwe ni nchi ya kupigana, ya kuharibu mali na ya fujo.
Hiyo ni kelele unatuambia.
Tutaweka amani sisi wote.
Kesho tuko na wewe.
Wangapi wanasema tuweke amani katika taifa letu la Kenya?
Kesho tuko na wewe.
Ni sauti ya Nakuru.
Kesho tuko na wewe.
Nakuru wamesema hatutaki fujo.
Yes. So as William Ruto was addressing Nakuru residents, some were heckling him. And one there recorded himself as he heckled Ruto. Let's put all this into perspective. If you are watching us but you are not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Let's start with the revocation. The revocation is a bold move by the judiciary, and it's clearly influenced by the Gen Z wave. So again, Gen Z has another win in that courts have started becoming independent. This case was dragging in court because the courts were very much afraid of ruling against the government. Mwaura was appointed by William Ruto, and maybe the courts were afraid of declaring that appointment illegal and unconstitutional. But the Gen Z wave has given some of these judges that courage to make such rulings. So the Gen Z wave is real and is being felt across all sectors of government. And that ruling also should send a message and a warning to Martha Koome, the Chief Justice. She either delivers or she quits. Because as things are, the Supreme Court is coming out as the weakest link in our judiciary. The lower courts are performing far much better than the Supreme Court. In fact, if you look at the Supreme Court, it appears as an extension of the executive. So that ruling should send a warning to Martha Koome and the Supreme Court judges that kumepambauka. Times have changed. It's either they deliver or they quit. And that judgment again also put some scrutiny on these government officials who were appointed by Ruto. Already William Ruto has dissolved his cabinet, and most of those CSs were people accused of corruption, murder, rape, all these evils. Those are the individuals William Ruto appointed. And maybe it's now time we zero in on the characters he appointed as principal secretaries, parastatal heads, these CEOs. It's high time we zero in on those individuals, because I strongly believe that a whooping majority of them, just as the cabinet was not competent, a whooping majority of them are also not competent, and people who are tainted with all sorts of corruption allegations. It's high time Gen Z's zero in on that. And again, if you look at that ruling, it goes on to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that birds of the same feathers flock together. William Ruto has got a very high affinity for people with questionable characters. When he was appointing this Anthony Mwaura, at that time he had a case of about 350 million Kenya shillings. He was being accused that he irregularly acquired a tender worth 350 million Kenya shillings when Sonko was the governor. Upon getting that money, he wired a percentage of that money to Sonko's accounts. And we also saw Sonko being taken to court as a result of that. And not only that one case, he also had another case of 55 million, still with the Nairobi City County, and another one of 500 million Kenya shillings. All these were irregular contracts he got from Nairobi City County when Sonko was the governor. So you are seeing the kind of corruption that went on there. But even with that, Ruto still went ahead and appointed this man to be in charge of Kenya Revenue Authority. So birds of the same feathers flocked together. That should also send a warning to Kenyans. Elect men and women of integrity. I'm saying that because I also believe Ruto himself is also not fit holding a public office. He has been having several cases of corruption, but some Kenyans still went ahead, voted for William Ruto and Rigathi. We also know Rigathi is also not clean. So Kenyans should also change how they view leadership. The change should begin with us. Elect men and women of integrity. If you elect people who are tainted of corruption and such things, they'll just appoint people who are also tainted to help them work. So Kenyans should also be serious. As I conclude, the heckling in Nakuru confirms Ruto has become very unpopular. Kenyans no longer trust him. They want him out. And if only our leadership was mature enough, Ruto ought to have resigned long time ago. In fact, it's very clear the people are against him. Why is he still holding on to that office? That's a public office, not a private office. Mr. President, the ground is gone. The people no longer trust you. They don't want you. Why are you holding on to that office? Just resign and let Kenyans elect leaders of their choice. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya for the first time, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.